This is part two. I don't know if I have any space left. It cut that one off. I want to continue with this though. It was the spring of '94, I think, and it was up off of Mountain Pass Road, the old trail to Fullheart Knob Shelter, which is a climb in itself and cold as heck. Anyway, it's spring, and I looked down, and there is. I thought when he came to the top, it looks like JFK Jr. And another young man, was with him. He came up, and I said that to him when he came up, and will date it, the timing, because the new trail down from Mountain Pass near the post office, the travel post office, was built after then, maybe the next year after this happened. And it came up the side of the mountain up to Fullheart Knob, too. So you had the old trail and the new trail. This was just prior to the new trail. He came to the top, and he had a backpack, both of them. They put it down on the table. And I said, "You look like John Kennedy." And he said, "I am." I don't know if he introduced his friend or not, but he said something, and I think the friend was the one that was always with him, and I'm going to get to that. John Jr. said, "We came up. They flew down. They had backpacks on and everything, came up the mountain. He said, we came up to see how we made you live." So they've always known that their father helped kidnap me, JFK. His grandfather, Joe, the ambassador to England, helped the Illuminati mafia kidnap me and take down my father with character assassination lies. And here they're gloating over it. And I hadn't eaten, and anyway, they put their peanuts in there. I don't know what else was there, but the peanuts caught my eye because I was so hungry. Didn't offer me a thing. And he had just said that. We came up to see how we made you live. And I ended up saying, "Well, your father helped kidnap me." And I don't know that I don't remember other responses. Stayed there a few minutes and left. But I want to get to this because Lee Radziwill married Prince Stanislaw, and that Stanislaw Radziwill, and that was this young fella, Anthony, that's with his cousin, JFK Jr., best friends. Now then, in 1999, I have that written down, but right now I'll just have to go by memory. I can't get over there. My writing, I don't have it put together. Okay, that's when Kennedy's plane went down, JFK Jr., with, the plane went down, and he drowned with, I don't know if both the twins were with him in the plane, or just his wife, Carolyn Bissett. Anyway, his buddy, Radziwill, who's related to him, his cousin that came up there with him to the mountain about 1994, had cancer. And he got worse, according to these articles, when JFK Jr. died. Remember, both of them were up there and said what they said and left. Came up there to make fun of me. So his best friend, the Radziwill, his cousin, dies of cancer. About 10, I don't know if it's, no, it was right after then. Yeah. Okay, it was right after JFK. Now, here's what I want to get to, and I'm sorry I don't have it put together better. I'm sorry all this happened to me, and I'm still trying to get some justice somewhere. Diane Sawyer, who was nightly host, and she was really popular newscaster, was a close friend of former colleague of Radziwill. This is her quote. And she quotes him, "He was both fearless and humane in his reporting," Sawyer said. "He was always careful to make sure that vulnerable people were treated with great care and respect. I just told you how they treated me. They didn't even offer me a bite of their peanuts and food that they had in their backpack. They came especially, flew down to see how they made me live. There has to be a record of it. I would take a lie detector test on any of this, anything I've said. So they always knew about it. They've gloated and had fun with their George magazine and all this. So this is how some people are quoted as being like when it's a total lie. And somebody else can be presented as everything dirty in the book when they're the good person. Okay, Raswell became producer in 1988, a producer, and became a television producer in 88, 89. And success was almost immediate. Won Emmy that year for sports journalism with NBC. Raswell jumped to ABC's Primetime Live 1989, where he worked closely with Sawyer. He became HBO's president of documentaries in 1997. So he died in, I guess, 99 when JFK Jr. died in the plane crash. He died of cancer. His cousin did here, Raswell. I don't know, it's kind of odd that I've been writing about mind control and programming people to shoot and kill in Tesla files that were stolen in 1930. Remember, I worked for doctors and etc. before I found out about my kidnapping in 83. How you can create an illness or cure an illness. And cancer, you could always cure it and always create it. Mind control, any of it. So, or they can make you go down in a plane like the doctor that I wrote about, and I was in the campaign. Larry McDonald. They were into programming. They programmed the man that shot Larry Flint, so you can go on. And they can cure cancer or create it. So I was writing about all that, and Larry McDonald, the Dr. Congressman I just showed you in the endorsement by Mr. Flint, who was shot, was supposed to have gone down in the plane in 1983, the KAL, which they took former President Nixon off, so they knew it was going down. And supposedly Larry McDonald went down that plane, 260 plus went down from Juneau, Alaska to Seoul, South Korea, August 31st of 83. And that's when I became a candidate and was flown out to Mr. Flint's. And I don't know if that's what happened in response to what was done to me, how they came up and really made fun of me and told me they got fun out of the life they had put me in to kidnap a monarch, their father and grandfather, the mafia, and then come up and laugh at me and what was done to my children. They've always known. So somewhere along the line, when you're praising all these people who are scumbag killers, there's a touch of justice anywhere. So somewhere, maybe somebody's on my side, and my sons that they've done such horrible things to, and I hope and pray they stand before God. They're dead. I hope the whole bunch of them that did this, and your mafia, your Illuminati that control the press, I hope they live in hell. And for once in their life, they pay for the crimes they committed.